Well, my grandfather came down into Mississippi County, Arkansas from southern Illinois when he married and came down in the early 1900s and settled about 10 miles south of this location. And my great-grandfather farmed also, so farming runs deep in our family and is certainly a tradition in our family that's about all we've ever done, all we know how to do. And then my father, when he graduated from college, wanted to farm, and my grandfather set my dad up at this present location in 1940. So we've been at this location as Wildy Family Farms since 1940. Being named Farm Family of the Year was a very humbling experience, something that we didn't expect, but something that we certainly will always cherish and remember for the rest of our lives. My grandfather and father were chosen master farmers, which was a different program, but being named the Arkansas Farm Family of the Year was beyond our expectations, and it's something that we'll never forget. My wife's involvement, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't hold all of this together. My wife's been very instrumental in settling all the arguments between all the family members and keeping us all focused on what we're really here for.
Most people are not used to the hours that the farmers keep, and I know the girls, Christy and Taylor, both were not from farm families either, so it's really hard when they don't come in till 9 o'clock at night, you know, and especially if you've got a little child that you're having to take care of kind of by yourself, and also it's a different lifestyle. It's a good lifestyle, but it's different.
If it wasn't for her, it'd be very hard, and she's been very instrumental in doing all that for the family, and she's really a family person, and just embraces her children and grandchildren, and just makes this family business what it is.
Well, I grew up, born and raised here on the farm, and that's all I knew was to just be on the farm. And I loved playing in the dirt and riding my three-wheeler anywhere I wanted to out here on the farm. And as I got older, then I started driving a tractor when I was 8 years old, and then some of the farm hands would let me drive to town with them before Dad even knew it, and I'd get to drive to town, and it was just a way of life, and something that it's just in my blood, and I just always wanted to farm.
David has always given me the opportunity to kind of go into the areas that I wanted that suited me the best. He never made me do, you know, the jobs nobody else wanted to do. He kind of tended more towards my strengths, I think, and it made it a lot easier.
It's helped me grow and appreciate the hard work that's been put into the farm. I didn't see that when I was younger as a kid. Now that I'm back at the farm, there's a lot of struggle and a lot of hard work that goes into it, and I've really started to appreciate it.
It would mean a lot to come back and be able to do the same thing my grandpa's doing, my dad, my uncles, and try to come back and help them as much as they've helped me through these years.
People will stop me in grocery stores or even older men or women in their gardens and tell me how much they respected David and how good a man he is, and but it means a lot treating people like that one of these days it's going to come back to you, and you don't want to treat anyone. If you don't want to be treated that way, you don't need to treat anybody like that. And it's one thing I've learned from David is because there's a lot of respect for him everywhere you go, and you don't realize it, but people really remember the things you do and how you treat them, and that's one thing I've learned.
We don't want to just take from the community, we want to give back to the community, and so we feel like by getting involved in different boards, different activities, whether it be school or water board or drainage districts, that we need to be involved to help build our communities, help the children in the schools with scholarships, try to encourage them to look at agriculture as a career possibly, and all different things that you can do in agriculture. But to give and be involved in voluntary programs that would help our communities, we think is very, very good. And we have the goal to not take from our community, but to give back. And we feel like that, you know, as we grow and get larger, we don't want to be looked at as just a large farm. We want to be looked at as part of the community that wants to help.
My initial thought was to go to college, and I wanted to be a physical therapist, but the longer I sat and thought about it, I mean, my background with farming and then getting involved with showing livestock, I thought, you know, physical therapy isn't going to be the life for me, so I decided to change my major and go with ag business. So growing up on the farm and showing livestock has really showed me the importance of agriculture, and I'm just looking forward to being another voice and being another ag advocate and show the world what growing up on a farm is all about.
It has also given Haley an opportunity. She's able to join in, and she has her jobs here and different duties, and she gets up every morning and knows that she's going to work, you know, so she's part of all of it too. You'll have those hard times, but then the next day it'll be a good time. You know, they just kind of go away. They smooth out on their own a lot of times.
And I'm proud to say that our family is a faith-based
Yes.
family, and I mean, you can't work anything out without talking to the good Lord above. And
Right.
there's been a lot of times that's what you have to do in this lifestyle. You know, is make sure that you're talking to Him daily.
Well, you hear about them saying, so-and-so's got my back. Well, that's the way we are. If any of us are in need, then everybody comes together. You know, it's just, we take care of each other.
That's how she said that we were all moving, and yesterday my sister had a baby, so Tabana's house literally looks like a tornado went through it. And I came home yesterday, and
She's tired.
I'm 21 weeks pregnant, hormonal. But Patty had hung the blinds in my house and, you know, put everything up where it's supposed to be. So, just things like that.
Wildy Family Farms, you know, means the world to me and my wife, and that's what we're trying to do, is cultivate a legacy. And if the children want to continue, we want to help them do that, and that's our goal. You know, I think my dad would be very proud of what we've accomplished here, and we're trying to keep it going. Just as an example of how deep our roots in farming run, my grandson, of course my sons were the same way, but my grandson has shown me how much he desires to come back to the family farm. And the grade school principal several years ago sent me a letter that a teacher had asked the students to write a letter of what they want to be when they grow up. And my oldest my grandson wrote this several years ago, and this is telling us what he wants to be. What I want to be in my future career. I want to be a farmer. First, I want to be a farmer because it runs in my family's blood. I will be a third-generation farmer. Well, actually, he'll be a sixth-generation farmer, but he was thinking of me and his dad and then him, but he'll be a sixth-generation farmer. I want to be the owner and operator of my dad and grandpa's farm, Wildy Family Farms. Second, I want to be a farmer because it is my passion, and he spelled it P-A-T-I-O-N. I love going to the farm after school and driving tractors. And yes, in grade school, he got to drive tractors on the family farm. It is the best thing ever. In the summer, I'm over there every part of the day. In summary, so now you can see that I want to be a farmer, and that is what I have my mind set on. So, that is what I want to be. And he even drew our logo, Wildy Family Farms, cultivating a legacy.